Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Nigel from EFP63 Cards and Stickers. Just like to say thanks to everybody who's watched, liked and subscribed to my videos so far. Great stuff, big thumbs up for that. It's always nice to get some views, you know, something I've been dealing with cards. Probably been dealing with cards for the last 10 years, but I've been dealing with football memorabilia for about 50 years. And I was opening cards a long time ago. I was opening football cards probably in the early 70s, and stickers. Don't know what I did with them all, but I never kept them. But there you go. So today we're having a look at, you'll see in front of us, Topps new Premier League cards from 2026. Just a little look back at what's come out, but I want to do a comparison. We're going to go and have a look at also last season Panini's Premier League cards and just see what I think. You know, it's a bit of a battle. Is it a battle? Who comes out on top? For my money, and I know there's a lot of criticism, but Topps obviously put a lot of time and effort into these cards. Yes, one of the big things is that when they came out, a lot of players aren't at them teams, but you're never going to get that. That's never going to be 100%. You know, the adrenalyn, they were behind. They were the same. You know, it's difficult. There's a lot of demand. They like to get them out when the season starts. So let's have a quick look at just a base card. I've got William Saliba from Arsenal. Let's put the two of them next to each other. So we got our adrenalyn and we've got our Topps. So Panini versus Topps. And I think the thing is, I think both. I don't mind either one, to be honest with you. I like what Topps has done, but I don't dislike that. I think the winner on this though is the back, where you get the player info, and that's the big win that Topps has gone for. If we have a look at the badges. The badges, now, I think from a front point of view, I like the United badge here, and it's got the red and everything. I'm a bit, I don't know, you know, if I was a United fan, why can't that be red? Because it's interesting, isn't it? You get Sunderland and Sunderland isn't red. So the front of that wins hands down for me, but the back of that wins hands down. And the interesting thing with the back of this is all the info. You know, they've actually got on it all United Premier League history, matches won, wins, draws, etc., goals, trophies, and you get a picture of the ground as well. So that's good. That I like that. I really do like that. I think that's good. I think from last season, one of the things from last season was, if I can find one, when we talk about grounds, you know, last season, that was a nice card. I like that idea. That was going back to old school and they used to do them. That's last season's Panini. But again, you got nothing on the back, but at least you get a picture of the ground and the size and the capacity of the ground. So that was good. And the thing you want to come on to next then is then inserts. So inserts in your basic team, and they're slightly different. We've got a Gen now. There's Levi Colwill at Chelsea. We've got a full force, your Wan-Bissaka. Again, they've got info on the back. And then you've got a couple of options. Certain teams have got certain things. There's Everton, there's Atekers, Aviliman and Jai. Again, lots of nice info. And then there's also, on some of the teams, you've got breakthrough ballers. So West Ham there. So there's a mixture, but you've got your 3 inserts of your team. So I think that was good. I think that's really good. And again, they've got lots of info. So, you know, on that kind of thing, again, tops wins again for me. It's going to be hard for me to go against the tops ones. I think some of the last season Adrenaline have got some nice designs, and then not quite as many inserts on the tops ones where you've got your retro. That's righty, Arsenal. But some really nice info. I love this with the little goalposts on. Nice info there. And then you've got Pro Precision, Beast Mode, Pro Partnerships. They're quite nice. There's a Pro Partnership one. It's your Villa one. So I think quite like them. But then last season, Adrenaline, they had all kinds, didn't they? You know, things like defensive heroes. And I like the design of the cards, lovely. I didn't not dislike them. I thought this one, I really liked this one, the Relentless one. I know some people were a bit critical, but I quite shiny cards. Breakthrough. So that's, you know, we had a good selection. What else did we have? Precision. Felice there, not bad. I actually have to say my favourite one of them last year is I liked this World Class design. I really liked that design. And the other thing I sort of suddenly noticed as well, that last year Panini had this trophy card, didn't they? So that was good, yeah, that was good. I liked that. That was sort of their run up and that. But what's happened here now with the big thing with tops, of course, and this is where the criticism has been levelled at tops, is they've made it too expensive and far too big a collection. Well, there's pros and cons for that. I've noticed on eBay a hell of a lot of bargain bundles, a hell of a lot, because people have chased what we'll go on to next. And the big thing is the parallels and the numbered cards. So if we look at, you know, we've got blue parallels for every player. They're the most common. Then the yellows are a little bit harder to get hold of, not as many as them. And the ones that are even harder to get hold of are your green parallels. And they become harder to get hold of. So that was a sort of criticism. You've got, you know, 380 cards or whatever, and you've got all the parallels. You know, you're chasing 700 cards or more maybe, and where you put them in binders. But of course, the other thing was, you've got your numbered cards, and that's what people have been chasing. And hard to see. The numbers are hard to see. I'm just going to get this the right way. I don't know if you can even see it, but that one is numbered to 399. There you go. There's even things like Premier League polls, James Trafford there. Yeah, going back to numbers. What else? Numbers. I've still got a few numbers here. Not many. I've got rid of a lot of them. To 50. Traore. They're nice. They're lovely cards. Pink sparkly one there to 399. Minter. What else we got? And of course, the other big thing was more autographs, more accessible. Now, I've not noticed a lot of the autographs are not priced very highly on eBay. You're chasing certain teams. That one's out at 99. Ewan Ferguson. And what you'll find on the back is obviously Topps just telling you how the autographs work, basically, how they've guaranteed that it's an authentic autograph. Black out of 10. There's a 10 there. Sorry, there's a bit shiny. Oh yeah, and they did, of course, official memorabilia. You got your patch, your official match worn, and it'll tell you that this was worn by the player featured. Which is interesting. Quite a lot of them knocking around. And of course, it wasn't just autographs on. So like we said, there was an autograph on a playing card, like that. They even had autographs, so you get a Chrome King. And you got your Zola autograph card there. So they're nice cards. And that's the thing that people have been chasing. I think that's why there's so much available on eBay. I've seen someone sold, it must have been a couple of thousand cards the other day. I think they only went for 100 quid or something. I thought, if you're starting off collecting, you could have waited and gone that way. And I know people like to open physical boxes and see stuff, but yeah, that's the whole chase, isn't it? That's the whole thrill of it, and a lot of interesting cards, and it has proved, I think, quite successful. I judging by the kind of inquiries I get and the things that I've sold and the people talking, asking me about cards, it's been interesting. The last section to move on is your limited as well. So you've got all your limited and varied ones again, and they've expanded that, and I've got a few limited from last season. Not got many left now, but I've got a few. So to give you an idea, there was a mixed bag last year. There was different. I always like this card. I've always liked the Invincible card. A couple of different variations from last season, and these are quite nice because they were gold on the back as well. And then of course a lot of people, I remember people saying, "Oh, is there going to be any golden ballers like we had last year?" You remember your golden ballers last year? I think they were nice cards, very thin, very thin. And then there was lots of limited cards. And that was it. And there was some History Maker cards. And there was a History Maker card. There was some various ones of those. And that was an interesting one. I had quite a lot of info on the back about Aguero there. That was your limiteds from and there's a few others. I mean, obviously that's not every limited there was. Now this year they've absolutely gone to town with stuff on here. So yeah, things like that's, I suppose, their Golden Lion. They were in the starter pack, but there wasn't a lot of them in the other packs. I didn't get very many of them. I opened a lot of packs. Then we had a Chrome King. You saw the signed one there. There's a Chrome Kings again. Nice bit of detail on the back, and there's about 20 different ones of them, I think, all told. What else? Gareth Bale one. Various limited edition cards. Very bog standard card, really. Thing about the limited edition card, I noticed is didn't put anything on the back, just told you, so you could have a checklist. And then we came into some more fancy ones. Now certain limited cards and certain were only available in certain tins, so things like 3 different big game golden ballers were in a tin, and then what else did we have? Global baller. There's 3 different ones of them. You had Palmer with his famous celebration, and they had some info on the back. And then what else did we have? Oh yeah, we had Hall of Famers. There's your Cantona. Again, that was info about his induction into the Hall of Fame in 2021, and appearances, goals, titles, etc. What else do we have? Then we had goal machines, and there's various tins. You got various ones, and last but not least, and I'm sure you'll have seen, is Golden Boot, which came out of this really strange tin. This is actually a tin that had football cards in. What next? Well, I was only thinking maybe there might be a football next. So all in all, there is a lot. You know, don't get me wrong, there is a hell of a lot to collect on that. And I think, you know, you need to spend a lot of money. But I think I noticed a lot of people, you know, they buy, you know, some people collect and they buy just their own team, or they buy players. So there's something for everything, something for everybody, and you know, there's a nice wide selection. Yeah, I think for me it beats last year. Cost is an issue, but everything's gone up. You know, I know it's only cardboard, as people say, but it's what people collect. When you follow your team, it's what you collect. I'll be bringing out more videos in the future. I'm still contemplating whether we do some live streaming. I think that's going to be in the new year. I've not decided what the content would be and how it would work, but it may be a discussion about collecting. It might be me showing cards. I'm not too sure. But thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, say hello, leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Who wins? I think Topps wins. I think I've got to say Topps wins, just with the detail. But that's why they were more expensive. Right, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.